One of Australia's biggest TikTok and OF creators, Anna Paul, has recently come under fire for scamming her audience, hiding and defending her brother's many crimes, and building a fraudulent career based on nothing but manipulative lies. Now buckle up, buckaroos, because this one is a real doozy. Don't worry, I'll explain who Anna Paul is for everyone who doesn't already know, but before we get into any of that, be sure to subscribe to the channel, because if you don't, for every person who doesn't subscribe, an emu will attack an innocent civilian, and if there's one thing we know about Australia, it's that they do not want another war with those wee bastards. So for the betterment of the human race, for the great nation of Australia, your subscription would be greatly appreciated. I mean, they're already going through enough having arguably some of the worst influencers, second only to LA. My Australian audience, stay safe. Anyway, we'll get into the controversy in just a second, but first I think we should cover who exactly today's subject is. So Anna Paul is obviously an Australian lifestyle TikToker, I guess, with an audience of mainly young girls. And with 2.3 million Instagram followers and 7.2 million TikTok followers, she's a really big hitter in the Australian influencer scene. Especially in the OF world, where she makes the majority of her money, or at least a very large portion of it. I'll play a wee bit of what I guess you could consider regular content of hers, and you'll immediately come to see that it's just sort of tacky standard influencer bullshit.
The people who gave me my copy wrote "have a happy day" on it, so that's what we're doing. We parked here and we're gonna walk all the way through there and find somewhere to swim. Okay. There's like spider webs that you can't.
Oh wow. Oh, another spider web.
You see how big that spider web is?
Actually, I have to really dodge it.
Yeah.
There's another one.
That right there, by the way, is his brother. Be sure to remember him, because he will be a very important, integral, and frankly horrible character in this story.
We are on the mountain today to go on an adventure.
So yeah, as you can see, it's nothing revolutionary. She just sort of does these vlogs, these lifestyle things. She spends copious amounts of money on designer brands and trips, and people seem to dig that for whatever reason. Now, if you do, that's fine. Like, there's nothing inherently wrong with this content. There's nothing immoral about it, I guess. It's just annoying to me personally how obviously fake it is. It's the weird, high-pitched, fairy, fake voice that she does. It's also this subgenre of her content where she just makes entire videos bragging about how much money she spent on something menial. Like this one, for example, with the caption, "I accidentally spent 6.5k on a tiny handbag."
And I see this bag.
I was like, we were kids, give it back.
Now, I'm sure this is a struggle that all of us can relate to. I personally hate it when I'm walking about a shopping center, fall over, and 6.5 grand in cash floats its way over to the nearest Louis Vuitton store, finds its way into the cashier's hands, who then force a tiny handbag into my arms without me asking for it. Happens all the time. It's so fucking annoying, am I right, guys? It's very easy to say this in hindsight, but it was always pretty obvious to me whenever I'd come across her content that the whole nice girl act was fake as fuck. She's literally made an entire TikTok account where she overspends and overconsumes and just brags about it to her entire audience, who for some reason look up to her for it. Like, fair enough if you enjoy the content, enjoy the videos for whatever reason, but she's built an economy of young girls who genuinely look up to her for whatever reason. Now, I believe that the only thing that could potentially be admirable or something worth looking up to when it comes to Anna Paul is the fact that she constantly talks about how she started from the bottom, right? She was a very poor person growing up, had a very poor family, and worked her way up to a point where she can spend 6.5k on a tiny bag.
So we grew up not having a lot of money, but our family life was always so amazing, so it didn't matter that much. It was just, we couldn't do a lot of stuff because we didn't have a lot of money, so, we'd have like $20 for the weekend, go get some fish and chips, just like a regular family.
And that would be something admirable, genuinely, if she didn't blatantly lie about how poor she was growing up. Now, this is where the controversy part of the video starts to begin, because part of the reason why Anna Paul is in such deep shit right now is because these lies about her poverty-stricken childhood have been unmasked. Everyone now knows that she was bullshitting the entire world about how poor she was and how she came from nothing because it was more marketable or something. She wanted something that made her a bit special. Golly gee, well, just how inspiring is that? Just for you guys, just to show you how truly inspirational this is, let's have a look at the poverty that she grew up in. Michael Kors diamond wristwatch, a staple in all poverty-stricken households, I'm sure you'll agree. Got another Michael Kors, because why wouldn't I? Those definitely sound like the words of a family with no money. I don't know about you. When you walk through the poverty-stricken villages in India, for example, where people are barely surviving, always worrying about where their next meal is coming from, a side effect of all of that is a cacophony of poor Indians constantly talking about how they're gonna get their next Michael Kors wristwatch. My goodness, I can barely believe the state of the place she was was growing up, and how on earth did she survive? And that phone is fucking primitive for 19th of January 2015. This here is also what every poor person wakes up to in the morning. And here's the BMW that she would film TikToks in and complain about how poor she was and how she couldn't afford anything. Here's the actual fucking swimming pool that they had in 2010 in the massive garden that they also owned. Now I know what you're thinking about this image. Wow, what a lovely day out to the local park where all the kids are having fun. Well, you'd be wrong. Once again, this is their actual fucking garden, which is part of their property. I mean, just look at that view. I can barely believe they survived. It looks just like the poverty-stricken ends of northwest London. Mate, just fucking look at this. Like, the fact that she ever decided that it would be a good idea, a good cover story. I don't know why it's so glamorized to have grown up poor nowadays. Like, it's okay. If you grew up with money, or just grew up normally, middle class, upper class, lower class, it doesn't matter. Like, it really is okay. It's not a crime. It's not a crime to grow up with money. You can't fucking help it. It's not like you chose to do that. No one's gonna look down on you for having parents or grandparents who worked really hard to earn you enough money to live a good life, unless you act like a fucking arsehole about it. Like, as long as you're not horrendously out of touch or look down on people who are below you financially, so to speak, no one really gives a fuck. Like, good for you. You have money growing up. You can still be an influencer. It really is okay. It really is an issue as well, because I would assume that this is the reason. The fact that she keeps parading how poor she grew up, this is possibly the biggest reason why little girls look up to her as a role model. And then when you come to realize that the way that she made most of her money is through OnlyFans, it's almost as though she's encouraging people who are in poor scenarios or who are growing up poor, that OnlyFans is the way to get out of that hole. Like, it is one thing doing sex work. That's fine to an extent, right? Like, do whatever you want to do. It's your life, no one can control that. But to promote it on this level without being honest about where you actually came from and how much your line of work has helped you or whatever the fuck, right? It's just the dishonesty in a scenario like this, which is potentially harmful, and I really don't fucking appreciate it, to be honest with you. But as you'll soon find out, this unfortunately is the least of our worries when it comes to Anna Poole. So this girl here, Mikhail Testa, is the woman who released all the allegations against Anna Poole in a TikTok of hers. Now, she is also a huge OF and TikTok creator in Australia who dated Anna Poole's brother. So obviously she has insider knowledge on the family, how they act behind closed doors. She isn't looking at it from the perspective that we are, right? People who do not know Anna Poole personally. And 1 week ago, she put this TikTok out detailing all the allegations and issues that she had with Anna, which we'll watch now.
There's a lot of things wrong with Anna Poole. It's way easier to hate me for calling her out when she's wrong than accepting that the Anna you guys love and idolize so much never existed. You don't know her. You don't know her like I know her. You have never met her, and if you have, it's nothing more than a 5-second selfie. These people that watch her don't know the Anna that I know. They know the other Anna, the one she wears when the camera starts rolling. I can't blame the parasocials because I too would do the same for someone that I looked up to. But my experience with Anna was a lot different to all of you. Mine was a real experience. Everything Anna does is calculated, but she masks the manipulation extremely well with an innocent sweet girl facade, posting all of these videos about self-love and body positivity. Anna, remember that god-awful trend of people posting photos of influencers that they would and wouldn't feel comfortable wearing a bikini around? Remember those slideshows people would make with everyone in the family, of all of you being labeled as safe and my photo is at the end marked as I would never feel safe in a bikini around Michaela? Meanwhile, right before these videos were trending in 2021 on the South Bank Bridge, when you were peak body positivity, love yourself version of Anna, a plus-size fan came up to you and asked for a hug and a picture. You smiled at her. You told her that you loved her. She told you how your words online have helped her be more comfortable in her body. The moment she walked away, you told Addis that she was annoying and gross and you didn't want to agree to the hug because she was fat and sweaty. Addis laughed. These were your words, Anna. I heard them. Things like this were a common occurrence. Seeing your fakeness in the flesh was such a disturbing experience.
So right off the bat, because I've not named Anna Poole's brother yet, Anna Poole's brother is called Atis. That's who she was referring to. That's the one who laughed when Anna talked about, you know, the plus-size girl. And also one thing you got to know about this video that we're watching right now is that there isn't really much evidence provided for any of the stories that she is telling. That being said, there is a lot of it that I don't doubt at all. Like, I do not doubt this story happened, purely on the basis that it would be a really fucking weird thing to make up, but obviously I don't know 100%, like I'm not taking it as fact, but I don't doubt it, because Anna Poole does seem extremely fake. And she is extremely fake based on some of the actual factual stuff that is brought up later with evidence. That being said, Michaela, the girl in this video, lies a lot in this video as well, so you don't really know who's right and who's wrong. The likeliest scenario is that nobody involved here is innocent as much as they all want you to believe that they are the one innocent party. I definitely do agree though that Anna Paul is using the whole body positivity thing as almost a facade for how boring her content is. Like I said earlier, her account is just a cacophony of rich girl posts buying copious amounts of needlessly expensive items and going on all these trips, but then every now and then she goes, body positivity everyone, remember it's okay no matter how you look, everyone's beautiful. Now look at this 10 grand fucking watch that I bought, isn't it great? Look at me, I'm so inspiring. I grew up poor, guys. Have I mentioned how poor I grew up? My swimming pool was only 10 meters long. I could only afford 5 holidays to the Bahamas every year. I think it also goes without saying that the story itself is fucking grim. Like, you don't treat your fans like that. I've hung around people with followings in my life before, and most of the time the way they treat their fans is perfectly cordial, right? It's great. They ask for a picture, they get a picture, maybe they have a little chat or whatever, they fuck off, and then everything's great. Everything's fine, dandy, peaches, roses, dancing dildos. There's nothing wrong with anything that goes on in those situations. But there was one fella who a fan come up to them, said, "Oh, are you so-and-so?" I'm not naming names. And they just went, no, because they couldn't be fucking bothered. And I thought that was too far, let alone this. Because in my mind, it's like, I get it might be annoying if people are constantly coming up to you, but like, it is a fan. Just take the bastard picture, you know what I mean? Or at least say, yeah, I am who you're talking about, but I'd rather not take pictures. Like, a bit of honesty wouldn't go amiss, you know what I mean? That amount of blatant disregard is a little bit genuinely grim to me. And if this story is true, I'm sure I don't even need to fucking tell you how bad it is. Like, you don't fucking treat your fans like that, even if they're not around to hear it. I mean, take fans out of the equation. It's not okay to treat people like that just in general. And yeah, fair enough, I guess. She didn't say it to the fan's face, but when the only silver lining about this horrific story is that you didn't insult them terribly to their face, but instead in private, it doesn't exactly paint you out as a great individual, you know what I mean? No, don't worry, officer. I know I stole 20 grand from them, but they didn't see it. They didn't catch me. Fuck you! If anything, doing it behind their back is almost more skeezy in a way. Like, you feel that way, you don't even have the fucking bollocks to say it to their face. In my opinion, the true mark of what makes a person good is how they treat other people when that person isn't around or when no one's watching them. It's very easy to be performatively nice to somebody for a couple seconds, you know what I mean? I'm sure when Jimmy Savile was still knocking about, people were taking photos with him all the time and thinking, wow, what a nice, pleasant guy. You can never tell how potentially evil someone is based on a 1-minute interaction where you get a photo, then fuck off, you know what I mean? That's why if you ask me for a photo, I'll call you an ugly bastard straight to your face so that you know I'm not fake. Joking. Obviously joking. I'll do it behind your back.
Your fans mean nothing to you, just like the animals you buy and palm off to others.
Yeah, that's a big thing as well, by the way. One thing Anna Paul does is buy animals because animals are good for business. They're good on the internet. You want more views? Buy a fucking cat and call it Jimmy or something. I don't know. What's a marketable cat name? So Anna Paul would do this a lot, right? She'd buy animals, use them for views, and then get sick of them and just give them to another person. Once again, just a bit grim, using them as pawns. Goes to show how little she actually cares and how fake she is. Once again, the fakeness is the key word here. In fact, pretty much every appearance that she has made outside of her own accounts, any place where she doesn't have complete control over the edit, over what goes out, for example, you sort of see the real her come out, and it's never a pleasant experience. Here's one example I could find of a Daily Mail interview, I think.
And if you could be another content creator for 24 hours, who would it be?
Someone who's super, super, super rich.
Nah,
like super, super, super rich.
I'd
get on a jet, I'd get on a yacht, I'd get on a helicopter.
Don't you do that though? Kinda, yeah. I guess so.
It's just so awkward and out of touch. I think part of it is that most people who are completely dedicated to being popular on social media are narcissists, right? Inherently, if your entire life's purpose, your entire goal is to be a famous star, you're maybe not a narcissist, but at the very least, there's some narcissistic tendencies in there, more so than the average person. And they're so focused on looking good on social media that they tend to forget to develop actual social skills in real life, if that makes sense. Like, could you imagine if someone asked me that question? Like, if you could be any influencer in the world, who would you be? And my response was like, ooh, someone like devilishly attractive, like a 15 out of 10. Someone who everybody in the world wants to shag. Gay, straight, lesbian, everybody would want me. Oh wait, I already am that person. That's how this comes across to me.
Watching you be praised online for being kind and caring, but behind the facade lived an evil person. All while I'm receiving hate because I didn't create content like you. Everything people accuse me of being is exactly who you are. That was just the beginning of the pot that started boiling within me. Anna's performative generosity, like hiding money in cities or dishing out giveaways behind a paywall, reek of superiority. Watching her fans scramble over scraps, fighting each other because they need these funds while she films it, flaunts her designer labels, endless holidays, and material excess. This is dystopian and out of touch. Anna is preying on the vulnerability and desperation of impressionable young fans for her profit under the disguise of self-love, empowerment, and giving back.
So this, even without the controversy of Anna Paul, like the big stuff that we get onto later, is all very obviously true. Like, it's very obvious to everybody with a fully developed fucking frontal lobe that Anna Paul is extremely performative, does not actually give a shit about any of the topics that she talks about seriously, and is just doing it all for reputation and cash reasons, right? Anybody who has talked to a real-life human being can tell that there's fakeness about her, right? There is two-facedness. However, as we'll learn very soon, Michaela here is also very, very hypocritical for this, because this whole video, the nice girl persona that she has, is similarly just a facade, and she lies a lot in this video as well. I just want to make it absolutely clear that a lot of the internet are just forgetting the wrongdoings that Michaela here has done, and looking past all of the very obvious lies that she tells in this video. None yet, everything so far is fair enough, right? But I want to make it clear off the bat that I am not proceeding with this video under the pretense that this girl is completely innocent, and that everyone she is talking about is completely guilty of every crime that she accuses them of. In terms of the whole, I will be hiding gifts and cash at random places in this city for all my adoring fans to go find them type thing. It's a thing influencers have done for a while. I do find it rather dystopian, but like, I don't know, it's not cancel worthy in my opinion. If you're making a cancellation video to completely rid of this girl, you want her destroyed, I guess maybe it's a valid thing to bring up as one of the points, but that alone wouldn't really do much. It's a thing that a lot of influencers have done. Same thing can be said for giveaways, by the way. Like, it really is no big deal. However, the types of giveaways that Anna Paul did, some of them kind of are a big deal. I'll let Michaela explain why.
Now, if you truly wanted to give back to your fans, you would use a free platform such as your giant Instagram page with over 2.4 million followers. Or, if you truly wanted to give back to your OF subscribers, you would do it privately within that platform. By posting IG stories advertising that you're sending money to subscribers, you are directly trying to lure new customers over to your page, a page which costs $16 to access. This $16 is essentially a lottery ticket. With the 7-hour difference in time steps between posting your initial promo story on Instagram to actually sending money, it's clear that in that time you allowed the subs to reel in, as this was just a plot for profit rather than a give-back situation as you disguise it as. Then posting further stories of screenshots sending few people $500 saying you know where to find me, incentivizing more to subscribe and fall for this in hopes to win.
Yeah, so this type of giveaway is a big deal. This is fucking disgusting. I'll try to throw up some pictures of these stories actually coming up if I can find them, but if I can't, they are exactly how Michaela has described here. What Anna Paul would do, as is being described in this video, is post stories talking about, hey guys, giveaway on my OnlyFans. When you join my OnlyFans, you're entered into the giveaway or whatever. But she knows surely that the majority of her fans are minors, right? Young girls even. I think that cultivating an audience of that many young people and doing sex work at the same time, promoting sex work on the same page, where you have that really young audience in and of itself is potentially a problem already. But when you are directly incentivizing them financially to join your OnlyFans, fully knowing that over 90% of the people that you are promoting that OnlyFans to are underage, that is just a whole other level of fucking despicableness. Because not only is it just completely inappropriate, but it's also low-key gambling. Like, hey guys, lottery. Like, hey guys, I'm selling lottery tickets, but you need to pay £16 for one. That's essentially what this is. But don't worry, little 12-year-old girl, because even if you don't win anything, you'll be able to view all of my pornographic content. I'm sure your parents would love that I'm the influencer that you look up to. I mean, it's just crossed my mind, the amount of children who have probably gone to their parents after seeing an Instagram story up like that and ask them something like, hey, mom, dad, would you mind giving me £16 so that I can subscribe to this girl's pornographic content website to join this lottery? Any parent who agrees to something like that, by the way, fucking you need shot. You're sending your kids daft, and I genuinely feel sorry for them.
The whole premise of you luring your largely underage fan base to a website containing pornographic photos of you in the hopes of them winning your illegal lottery gambling scheme is so twisted and weird. If you charge an entry fee in order for somebody to win something, it's classed by law as a lottery in Australia. Anna is not licensed to hold lotteries. It's unethical, illegal, and against OF and Instagram's T&Cs. And on top of that, it's exploitation, particularly for her young audience. You only need to ID check to be a creator on the platform, not a spender. I've been on the platform for 6 years, I know it well, and we also conducted a test on this, which means these youths really are subscribing and tipping just like they told me that they have.
Yeah, bang on, nail on the head. This is probably the strongest part of Michaela's video here because it's all absolute facts that can be backed up with her stories, right? This is a real thing that has been happening. And this is something worthy of cancellation. Like, you can't be doing that shit. When you have that big of a platform, that big of a responsibility, that much power, and that's how you decide to use it, when you already have fuck you money, you already have enough money for like 10 fucking lifetimes. Maybe don't buy 2 watches every 5 hours and you won't need to pull this type of scam. And yeah, there's also the part that Michaela rightly mentioned where this completely goes against Instagram and OF's terms of service. But then there's also the part where, in my opinion, I think OF has a part to play in Anna Poole's success. Like, I would not be surprised at all, as, you know, the biggest OF creator in Australia, or at least one of the biggest, that OF is paying her to some regard, right? I would not be surprised at all if there was some sort of sponsorship or some deal behind the scenes that was going on.
People that love Anna will come up with all sorts of attacks on me to try and defend her behavior, and that's okay with me. I don't blame them. People may start pointing at me because I'm on the platform too. While I understand, I also testify. Only 3.4% of my following on Instagram where this is displayed is under the age of 18. Anna's statistics would paint much different story.
No, I don't think they would paint a much different story. I think on Anna's Instagram, the statistics would also show that the majority of people who are following her are also under 18. I honestly can't believe this is an argument influencers are still using, because people who aren't influencers, basically everybody has faked their age on Instagram at some point in time. And if you're a minor, obviously, you do not actually tell the websites that you're signing up to that you are a minor, because then like half of the content on said website you can't actually fucking view. Like, when I was 13 years old, I didn't tell anybody that I was 13 years old. Online, at least. Like, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, every account I had, I'm 18, guys. I'm 24 years old. Guys, don't worry. I can watch this video. I'm 80 years old, actually. I was born in 1847. My name's Jimmy McBizzlestein, born in Pompeii, 1742. So yes, I am allowed to watch this gambling, pornography, gun video. Like, I'm sorry, but with the content that you post, it just is not appealing to adults. Like, this very obviously young people under the age of 18 who watch those videos. Obviously, Michaela is not doing the giveaways on her Instagram that Anna does, so it's not as bad, but to make this claim is disingenuous, in my opinion.
I also never incentivize people to subscribe in the hopes or chances that I'd see their message of despair and send them a lump sum of money, like Anna, targeting her young female audience such as young mothers and high school girls. Another attack that Anna fans will use on me to defend her bad behavior is that I'm obsessed with her family and that I'm not over Addis. They spread all sorts of rumors about what they think happened. This rumor really bothers me and is not true in the slightest. Constantly being tied to such a horrible person and have lies told constantly about how you feel about them is horrible. You have only seen what I've allowed you to see. Anything after my first initial few videos I made, the rest were jokes for views and engagement. I broke up with him. It was my choice to never reconnect again. There was no contact from me to him during that entire time, despite his countless attempts to reach out to me. As I just said, it was exaggerated on my end for views because I know the content performed well, and it did. But I was well and truly over him months before we ended.
So what she's basically saying there is that she knew Atis was a horrible person, but stayed with him because she knew it got views on her TikTok page. That's not me making assumptions, by the way. That is literally exactly what she said, but she said it so brazenly that people won't even be able to tell the scope of what she just said was. I just think it's a little ironic that you're criticizing Anna Poole for being fake, and then you go on to admit something that big in this video, especially when you go on to detail the actual crimes that Atis has committed on not only you, but the people around you as well.
Everything I say going forward is the truth and will hold up in a court of law. Addis Poole has physically abused me multiple times when I tried to leave him. He would hurt himself and threaten his life to scare me into not leaving after he would hurt me. He would take large percentages such as 50% of my income to manage me, but in reality there was no managing, and I personally think it was financial abuse. After we broke up, he took jewelry from my room, hacked into my bets accounts, withdrew money, and then deleted the accounts, thinking I wouldn't notice. When I caught him, he sent it back and played a fool. Then crypto went missing from my accounts, which he set up for me. I accused him but had no proof as crypto is anonymous, so I legally had to backtrack while also being manipulated by him and Anna over the phone. I have sent him just about $1 million for numerous work or investments he's done for me and never saw anything from it. He is a cold-blooded scammer. He has not only scammed me but the public, and this started in him from a young age. There has been things he has been in trouble for in the past, but I cannot speak on them because he was underage. Then these crypto group controversies followed years later, which I had nothing to do with, and begged him to stop because it ruined my reputation online being affiliated with him. Addis was also accused publicly of rape by his ex-partner, to which I believed back then. I even messaged her that I did believe her. I believed her because her story was something that actually had been happening to me already.
Okay, that was a long clip, so sorry for that. And it is fucking harrowing. The things she's saying here are disgusting and fucking horrible, and I feel genuinely terrible for her, if even some of it is true. Like, that is not something I would wish upon my worst enemy. However, the unfortunate bit is that last bit is a complete lie, and not only that, but a fucking horrible lie to tell as well. Like, a disgusting lie to tell. And not only that, but a very obvious lie as well. Like, there are literal receipts of you on the internet not believing the victim that you are saying that you believed in this video. Because there are two options here, right? Either you believed them or you didn't. There's also the third option where you didn't immediately believe them, but you didn't immediately disbelieve them either, which is where I'm at with most of these allegations here, because of the lack of evidence and also how much of a proven liar she is. But the two options here are either you believed the victim whilst you were still with Atis, and even though you knew Atis was capable of such a thing and you believed that he did something like that to another girl, you were still using him for views on your TikTok account, as you admitted, because you knew it was good for your career, which is fucking grim. Or the second option, you didn't believe her, and now you're retroactively trying to change the story to make it seem as though you always believed her because you're that much of a nice person. That second option is the one that actually happened here. It's a complete lie. And there's proof of this, which I'll show you right now. Now, I'll link this Reddit thread in the comments so you can go over and read it for yourselves, because I'm not going to read the whole thing here, but the really important bits I'll detail to you right now. Michaela stating that she believed Alice back then and messaged her as so is simply a fabrication and revision of an event we witnessed in real time. Michaela had an entire freakout on Tea Time in 2021, viciously defending Atis against these allegations, to the point of harassing Alice herself by claiming that Alice was a predator and dating a minor. Alice's fling at the time was turning 16 and Alice was 17. They were 1 year and 1 month apart, and Alice would go on to apologize about this in a YouTube video. In this Tea Time thread, she admitted to telling Alice to take the cease and desist seriously and not spread lies regarding her claims against Atis. She would further go on to imply that the situation with Alice, in which she was being called out for defending her boyfriend against predatory allegations caused by considerable stress and malnutrition, once again placing unnecessary blame on the victim without acknowledging her role in the situation. What I'm about to read are some comments that Michaela made at the time, not now, and I mean, we'll just have a look at how viciously her story's changed. Alice is a 17-year-old boy dating a 15-year-old boy, yet no one has anything to say on that situation. I have literally nothing to do with this, except for the fact that I replied to her story regarding the letter of her not taking it serious, me believing her that she was going to continue spreading these fake rumors and stories. When you call the blames of a potential victim fake rumors and stories definitively, as you are here, I wouldn't exactly say that that is you believing her at the time. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, you guys can tell me in the comments, but me personally, I think she's full of shit. I was not around in 2017 to see any of this take place and have literally nothing to do with it. I made one comment prior, and that was me correcting a girl that was saying they were 5 years apart when they are in fact 3 years apart. Yes, Atis was 16 and she was 13. I can't comment on that because it doesn't have anything to do with me, yet Alice is dating a minor currently. I mean, once again, it's just extremely ironic how you can call Anna Paul out for being as fake as she is, which she is completely fake, by the way, but let's not pretend as though you do not fall into that exact same boat. I mean, the barefaced cheek of you to make that video as confidently as you did, it's fucking grim, like genuinely grim. And the shit part about it is that it brings into question every other allegation that you have made, despite a lot of them likely being 100% true. It's very difficult to believe you now that you've confirmed yourself to be such a huge liar. Why are the admin deleting every single comment of someone saying that Alice is dating a 15-year-old boy as a 17-year-old girl? Maybe because the age gap of 1 year and 1 month isn't exactly the biggest fucking deal in the world. If someone was calling me out out for being a predator because of that much of an age gap at that age, I would probably want to delete those comments as well. People don't realize that on YouTube though. People don't realize that sometimes comments are deleted by like bots and systems that say horrific shit. I'll go into my held for review section and there are comments that are like, I hope you die, you Arabic piece of shit! And then the next comment they make is like, what? Why did YouTube not post the comment? It's like, man, you need to fucking get a grip. It's like, mate, get a fucking... Why do you think the comment wasn't posted? I got called a sand monkey by one person who was complaining about their comments being deleted. That's fucking horrific. I mean, it's a little funny, but horrific nonetheless. It makes no sense to me, and this group is so biased. Any comments in regards to anything other than us being in the wrong is instantly deleted, and I am seeing it before my own eyes. Maybe they deleted your comments because they can't fucking read them. Learn to use punctuation, you dits. Oh, but don't worry, there's more. So these comments that I'm about to show you are Michaela and Anna defending Atis for dating a 13-year-old when he was 16. I mean, it is already, straight away, it's weird for you to criticize a 17-year-old for dating a 15-year-old when you're defending that type of shit. He was 16 and she was 13, then turned 14. Yeah, that's kind of just how age works. It does tend to go up as time goes on. I wasn't assuming that she was going to stay 13 years old forever, lass. Please use the correct ages because you can seriously make things turn and make someone look like someone they are not. They are 3 years apart. So why are you having to go at Alice for a relationship that's 1 year and 1 month apart? It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, not only are you defending Atis, but you're defending him for indefensible actions here. With, like, blinding hypocrisy as well. She never apologized for this either. Like, there has been no accountability taken on her side. So this whole video, as much as there are genuine allegations here that should be taken seriously with regards to the whole situation, and Anna Poole is definitely a piece of shit, no one here is innocent. Those are the facts. And it's such a shame as well, because if you were just a little bit more honest, it really would have been okay, in my opinion. Like, I don't know about you. You can tell me if you disagree with me in the comments, but I genuinely would have respected her so much more if she said something along the lines of just a bit more honest, right? If she went, Alice made these allegations at the time, and I didn't believe her at the time, which is something I greatly regret now, because I was blinded by my love for Atis. Like, obviously, I was in a long-term relationship with the guy. I so didn't want to believe that someone I was dating would do something so horrible, and I trusted him, because he was my boyfriend, and I loved him. But obviously now, I've changed my mind, I see him for the person that he is, and I do believe this victim. I don't think anybody could hear you say that and go, no, fuck off, that's unreasonable, you're a piece of shit, ah la 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 la. Genuinely, tell me if you would have respected that or thought she was full of shit if she said something along them lines. Obviously, I'm glad she didn't say something like that, because it would have been fake, and we now see her for the liar that she is. It was just such a horrible and dumb lie to tell, considering that the receipts are out there. Like, it was all public, you defending him. Very, very confusing, bad, horrible, immoral move, in my opinion, but we'll continue with the video now.
And when I confronted Addis and told him I believed her, a fight broke out and he would threaten his life. As a result of what was happening to me, I would get UTIs, and that in turn has permanently affected another internal body part. I'm undergoing surgery in February to correct my body, as I have debilitating health issues as a result. When this happened, our relationship plummeted and I couldn't be the same. Does this sound like a person that I would be obsessed with or want back? I left the wrath of that.
I really don't mean to be a dick, but can you really blame people for thinking that you loved him as much as they said you did, because you have openly admitted to pretending that you did in fact love him and want to be with him for the sake of TikTok views and finances and business. You literally created a facade, created a character to the online world, made it known publicly that you were in love with this bloke, and are now complaining that people think you are in love with him. As much as sometimes saying things like you brought this upon yourself is a really victim-blamey, horrible thing to say, and I don't like to say it, I do think you brought a little bit of this onto yourself, lass. If you just took a little bit of responsibility, were a little bit more honest, this whole thing would come across so much more genuine and likable and believable, in my opinion, but you've soured the whole thing with the amount of lies you've told.
In my opinion, it seems the Paul siblings have scamming running through their blood, and I'm not sure why, because they were raised with amazing parents that provided a lot for them. Their dad making triple the average Australian income per week had them living in a beautiful house on the water with a built-in pool. I've seen the house in person. It's beautiful. Being upper middle class is not being poor, Anna. Your exaggerated stories for the internet has always made your dad upset, and me, well, just angry. I was a real victim of the system and poverty like you portrayed yourself online. Remember that time when he called you out in the living room? He didn't understand why you would post such things, and he called them lies. But you need this story. faking your poverty, so people excuse your schemes and wealth and feel bad for you. Every calculated story serving such an important role in supporting the other lies. This web you're weaving to entrap these people's pity.
Everything she says about the poverty thing, I completely agree with. Like, that is fucking weird and grim and unnecessary for her to do that sort of thing. The issue is, I feel like nowadays we've created this economy of young people who want something unique about them, want something inspiring about their story or whatever, especially a lot of the influencers that are about. So many people do this. There are so many influencers out there who talk about how poor they had it growing up, how hard their childhood was. And then when you actually look at it, it was just sort of like normal, average, or worst case scenario, really, really good and well off. Like, there are huge creators, I'm sure a lot of you are thinking of them right fucking now, who do this sort of thing. I mean, let's just make it absolutely clear right here and now, because I want to make my views clear on that whole subject. Being born poor, being born rich, being born in any class of wealth, it doesn't matter, and it doesn't make you a better or worse person than any other person born in a different financial situation. And quite frankly, anybody who thinks it does, in my opinion, needs to have their worldview checked a little bit. It's even happening now with people who aren't influencers. Like, I know people who are just normal people in my personal life who come over every now and then, friends of friends usually, who talk about how hard they had it growing up. And then one day you find yourself in their childhood home for an afters after a night out or some shit, and you're like, what the fuck were you ever talking about? There's an Aston Martin in your second garden, not even the first one. Why would you even feel the need to lie about that type of shit? You weirdo.
I am posting this because it's unethical and I care about children and young adults being conned by her. My motive for posting this is not for my own gain, jealousy of Anna, or obsession with Addis. Posting this isn't giving me any other than jeopardy, and I'm not the ones in debt promoting cash grabs. I have my own 2 legs to stand on and would never be jealous of someone like her. I have been friends with Anna since I was 15 years old, going on 10 years now. Our other friends that we shared witnessed the real life Anna and said things over the years, but it's always drowned out by the rally of her brainwashed fans. Someone needs to do it, and I've been through it all, for years. I just genuinely don't care about what the internet has to say any more about me. I'm just going to speak the truth, and you guys can say whatever you want about it. If I had more time, I could tell you more stories in detail. Maybe, if Anna's fans don't bully me off the internet, you'd get some. Thank you so much for listening.
I mean, you did have more. You're not on a fucking time crunch here. You can explain all the stories you want. You have all the time in the world. This video's only 9 minutes long. It's not like you're taking a huge chunk out of your day to do it. I don't know, it's just a weird ending to the video, especially when you say, oh, I'm only telling the truth in this video. No, you're not. You've been exposed with so many lies. Half this bastard video is either lies or things that you're accusing her of that you do yourself. I would give this video a solid, like, I would give it maybe a 5 out of 10. Give it a 5 out of 10. Bang average. Got a lot of issues. Got a lot of problems. Has some good things about it as well. I'm glad that this caused a bit of a stir and made people realize just how shit of a person Anna Poole is, but we need to remember that Michaela here is not exactly the most genuine individual either. Every single person involved in this shithole of a situation, every individual has been proven to be absolutely willing to lie about each other, to make up huge false stories about each other and themselves and change the stories that they have done in the past in order to win. Every individual involved in this controversy is a sleazy, sly bastard who you should not trust like that. Like, anything that any of these people say needs to be taken with a grain of salt. 10 fucking gallons of salt, right? If you took every grain of sand on the planet and changed it to salt, that would not be enough salt to say how much you need to take their opinions with. I'm just saying that for me to take anything that any of these people say seriously in the future, I will need to see evidence. Because they have not established themselves as trustworthy people. Anyways, just yesterday, as of time of recording this video, Anna Poole, the beautiful, lovely, incredible, integrity-ridden Anna Poole, put out a response video to all the allegations that have been released. Well, not all of them, let's be honest. She ignores the ones that, you know, are really bad and she can't defend, but let's just have a watch. Let's hear it from the horse's mouth. It's not that I'm calling her a horse, but you know what I mean. Fuck it, here's the video.
If I made a video addressing every time anyone said anything bad about me, I would be posting all day long every single day, as would every other content creator. That's what the whole For You page will be filled with. But I think we can all agree that this has gotten a little bit big and a little bit much, so now here I am. And I'm never doing this again. I don't address stuff like this, but it has gotten very big. And the reason why I've taken so long to reply is not because I have a PR team and this and that and whatnot. I'm by myself. There's no one, there's no script, there's nothing. I'm just talking to the camera. The reason why I've taken so long is because this all took me by surprise, and it was a very big shock to me because somebody that I thought was my friend and that I was close with really hurt me. And 2 months ago, she was asking me to go to Fiji with her on a girls' trip. And last year, when my dad was apparently homeless and that was going everywhere crazy on TikTok, she was the one helping me through it, sending me voice messages telling me, don't listen to the people online, they're dumb, everyone is stupid, tell Papa it's going to be okay, I hope Papa's okay, don't tell him not to listen. She was helping me. So now this has all come as a very, very big shock and surprise because I thought we were friends.
I just hate this. Can people stop giving people like this platforms? They're all just so maniacal, conniving, they all just want to see each other fall. They're all just such fucking losers. Like, this is definitely the type of they're all the type of person, to be fair, who'll stick with you. They want the best for you, but the second they overtake you in followers, they'll leave you. They don't need you anymore. Fuck off. The type of person who, yeah, maybe they want you to do well, or they pretend that they want you to do well, but they definitely do not want you to do better than them. Now it's a fucking problem. It's personal now, big boy. A running trend that both of these videos have is that there is no evidence for fucking anything that they are talking about. Like, oh, she sent me all these texts, all these voice messages, I thought we were friends, blah, blah, blah. He asked me to go on this girl trip. It's so easy. Get the screenshots up, show the screenshots, play the voice messages. It's so easy. And as much as I am usually against sharing that amount of private information for petty gossip and drama, it's like the gloves are fucking off by now. There's no need to play nice if you think you've been wronged that much. This is like a career-ending allegation. You have the right to show screenshots if you think it's going to help your case, you know what I mean? And all that aside, whether or not you thought she was your mate or not does not detract from the allegations that she's given you. Like, just because she's your friend doesn't mean you weren't scamming your underage audience. All it does is make it even more confusing, because if she truly was your friend, then yeah, that is fucking weird. Like, why is she doing this? And you know what? I don't doubt that she was your friend, because once again, these people are all horrible, and they all hate each other secretly. I hate them all. I'm sure you guys can tell, but I just have no respect, admiration, and it's all disdain. At least you know there's no bias, because I dislike all of them pretty much equally, on a basis level.
But I'm going to address the things regarding me. So the first thing I want to address is that apparently in 2021, a fan came up to me and we hugged. And after she walked away, I said, oh my god, she was so fat and sweaty. Now, I do not call my fans fat. That is not who I am. That is not what I stand for. That's not what I've ever stood for. But you guys know me, surely. That is not what I stand for.
No, we don't know you. We know the version of you that you portray online. If we believed everything you put online, we would think that you were a really poor girl who was inspiringly working their way up the ladder to TikTok stardom. You can't just come on camera and be like, oh, come on, guys. I said in my video 1 year ago that I was a really nice person, so you guys know that I'm a nice person. You guys know I wouldn't say anything like that. I say the words body positivity in my videos every now and then, so you know me by this point. We're basically best pals, right? Fucking stupid parasocial bullshit. I can't, and she's praying. Oh, they're all such losers, man. Why do people watch these videos? Why do people look up to these people? It's so confusing, befuzzling. I'm confused and bewildered. This is one of life's greatest mysteries. It goes Stonehenge, Anna Paul's fame.
Sweaty, however, I may have called her sweaty, because when somebody is wet and they touch you and then they leave, and when you're with your best friend and you are now wet because of them, you may say, I am now wet. Again, this was 4 years ago, but that may have happened. And I also know that people would have hugged me, walked away and said Anna Paul was sweaty. That does not make them a bad person. That's just them pointing out that after two people touch, they are now sweaty or wet. For example, actually, during meet and greets, I hug thousands of people.
This is so dumb. This is so dumb. That wasn't even for the recording, by the way. That is genuinely just me vocalizing to myself how I feel about this situation. One person says, you called a fan fat. The other person says, no, I didn't. What exactly am I supposed to do with that information? I'm so, like, there's nothing I can say, really. I don't know who to believe. They're both fucking liars. They're both as believable as each other. They're both horrible people. Maybe she did, maybe she didn't. That's all the commentary I can really give on that specific instance. But that was not the big thing of her video. So we'll let it slide. Whatever, sure. Maybe you didn't call them fat. Fucking who knows? I don't care. I don't even care. I don't even know why I'm analyzing this fucking bit. Let's just move on.
During meet and greets, I hug thousands of people. My go-to thing when I meet a fan is I always go in for a hug. So I hug thousands of people, so my shoulders go into thousands of armpits, and afterwards my shoulders smell like sweat. And if I'm like, hey, does anyone have a wet wipe? Both my shoulders really smell like sweat. That is just a human thing. And of course you can twist it and make it sound bad in a video, but Yeah. The second one is that
Yeah, I'm sorry, this is the dumbest video I've ever seen. We're 2 minutes in to this 8-minute video. We're 25% done with the video, where someone has levied huge career-ending allegations against this woman, and we're 25% into her video, and the only thing she's talking about, oh, I hug thousands of people, and my armpits smell a little bit bad. You have been accused of supporting your brother, who has allegedly done horrible things to some of his ex-partners, and you're sat here 2 minutes into this 8-minute video talking about your stinky armpits. It's just so odd. This is the weirdest, dumbest drama ever.
Yeah. The second one is that I lie about growing up broke. Now, I do not lie about the fact that I grew up broke. When I say I grew up broke, that is my experience. That is how I felt. When I can hear my parents talking in the kitchen that the budget for the groceries that week is $30, it makes me feel broke. When we can't afford school uniforms, it makes me feel broke. When I'm 11, when I'm 10, and all my friends can afford something and my parents can't, it makes me feel broke. When they say, oh, I don't know how we're going to afford rent next week, that makes me scared and makes me feel broke. That does not mean that I was the most broke person on earth. There are definitely people in way worse situations than me, but that does not mean that I'm lying about the fact that I felt broke during those times. And of course, because the internet is going crazy, they are pulling up photos of, this was Anna's childhood home, showing photos that I grew up in when I was already an adult that I couldn't even imagine even going into when I was like 7 years old.
I wasn't broke, guys. I had money, but I felt broke, so it's okay. I don't even know what to say. I'm shouting too much. I need to fucking take deep breaths again. These fucking videos, they do so— How old is Anna Paul? She was born in 1999. She's 25 years old. Okay, so she was born in 1999, and the pictures of the fucking swimming pool in the back garden on her mum's Facebook account were in 2010. So you were 11 years old, and you're full of shit! Stop lying! Stop! Just please, you're making me yell. I've got roommates. It's fucking, it's midnight. I just don't understand how you can come on camera and lie about something that is so obviously and so easily proven wrong with this amount of confidence. Fuck me. Have you no shame? You genuinely have no fucking shame. Unless you want to convince us that at 10 years old, you, in 1 year, single-handedly, you, not your parents, worked up enough money by sweeping gardens or mowing lawns to buy a huge mansion with a swimming pool in the back, and then at 11 years old, you went from really poor and poverty-stricken at 10 to 11 years old, going on holidays every year, buying designer clothes, designer bags, spending $6.5 grand on a fucking tiny shite-looking bag. It's all just so dumb and so obviously a lie. And also, that was like the last point that Michaela brought up in her video. So you brought up the first and last point, ignored everything in the middle. Well, to be fair, I guess she might bring it up later, so I won't jump the gun too much. We'll hear her out. Let's hear the rest of this video.
That does not mean that I was the most broke person on earth. There are definitely people in way worse situations than me, but that does not mean that I'm lying about the fact that I felt broke during those times. And of course, because the internet is going crazy, they are pulling up photos of, this was Anna's childhood home, showing photos that I grew up in when I was already an adult that I couldn't even imagine even going into when I was like 7 years old. Or this was Anna's first car, not my first car, not my childhood car. I didn't even have social media when I was like 7. Like, Instagram didn't even exist back then. It was like 2006, 2007. Those photos wouldn't even be on the internet. But okay, this is another one. I'm going to explain some photos on my Instagram, because even though I have addressed these hundreds of times over the years, and they're all still on there, you can see them all, they're all there, but I've addressed this a lot of times, so I'm going to address one or two just to show you social media is fake. It is not real. Instagram, it's all fake, and it can be fake.
Well, you didn't perfectly draw a photorealistic version of those designer watches and then post them on your Instagram, did you? That is you. Those are real watches. Social media is fake, sure, but those watches were real. Also, once again, it's not exactly the best look when you say, guys, actually, I was lying the whole time. You're not actually supposed to believe anything I say. I lie about everything. You silly sausages. You actually believed me when I said that I did this and that? It's just incredibly ironic when in this exact same video you say, you guys know me. You guys know I wouldn't do something like that. I mean, you've watched my videos. You know my personality by now. I'm real. And then 1 minute later talk about how fake social media is and how you play into all that. Both these people talk about how they lied about big things and use that as some sort of defense mechanism.
And people are saying, look, this is her in first class when she's 13. She's a liar. She was always rich. Now, what you don't know about that photo is that that was a flight that my uncle paid for, and it was an economy flight because my whole family lives in Germany and we were in Australia. So my uncle wanted my brother and I to go see our grandparents. So he bought us 2 economy tickets, and during the flight, my brother threw up all over me everywhere. Everything was wet and hot. Everything was dirty. So the flight attendants take care of unaccompanied minors, and they said to us, guys, come to the front of the plane while I clean this up. It's the last 20 minutes anyway. So for the last 20 minutes of the flight, we were sitting in first class. And of course they posted on Instagram, and 12, and that's cool. And now people are using that like, liar. No, social media is fake, and it can all be explained. And I have before. Oh, another one is, I'm wearing like a Gucci watch. My dad's job growing up was buying and selling antiques. So he would constantly go to garage sales and markets and stuff like that, and then sell them on eBay afterwards. So there's a photo of a watch that he bought at a garage sale for $2, and it's a Gucci watch. And I posted that. Papa, can I post on Instagram? Of course I'm posting that. That's cool and that's a flex, but that is not real. You cannot determine things from photos. It is crazy. And that is just, those are just a couple of examples. But yeah, me aside in this whole situation.
Okay, Anna Paul, if by some weird chance you're watching this video, first of all, Guten Tag, but second of all, fair enough, maybe those 2 images were faked, but what about the house that your mum was posting in 2010 of the personal swimming pool that you own in your back garden, and the huge garden just in general, as well as the 50 other Instagram posts? Were they all fake? Was every single one of them fake? I'm not going to rule that out as an impossibility, but I highly doubt it. And unless your mum was faking a lavish lifestyle of a house that she rented for like 2 days for her 10 followers on Facebook because she wanted to flex to them for some reason, then that's pretty unexplainable in my opinion. Just admit that you grew up with money. It's okay. It really is. I know I keep saying it, but I fucking despise the mindset of like, just this glamorization of growing up poor or having a rough childhood. It's fine to be normal or average or even wealthy. Like, it's not a crime. Just don't be a dick about it.
The bullying that has festered and grown from this because it's a trend is dangerous and not okay. And bullying like this kills people. It kills people. You might think it's funny to set up your phone and think, oh, what's trending right now? I know. I'll say I met Anna Paul once and say something bad. That'll get views. Your views aren't worth someone's life, I'm telling you. Or setting up the camera and laughing with all your friends about what my body looks like and then posting it. That is not worth the views. Someone's life are not worth those views, I'm telling you. And another one that what is it? I'm a manipulative liar because I called pasta noodles or something like that. Like, insanity. It's
a manipulative liar because she called pasta noodles. I don't remember that part being in Michaela's video, man. Who's saying that? Who's using that as justification for you being a manipulative liar? There's so much better evidence online. Fucking what? I'm going mental. I'm going fucking loopy right now. This is mental. She's not going to address it, is she? She's just going to completely ignore the OF stuff and having an audience of young women that she promotes OF to, and also the, illegal lotteries that she's running. I have a feeling that the 3 minutes remaining on this video, she's just not going to talk about it. I mean, judging from the fact that she has spent actual minutes of this video talking about how she called pasta noodles and how stinky her armpits are, and how much she loves to hug people, I'm willing to take an educated guess and say that she is not prioritizing the actual indefensible actions of promoting sex work and promoting her pornographic material to minors on her Instagram page behind the promise of a lottery. And the reason why she won't talk about it is because it's not really something you can defend. The only thing you can do is apologize and take accountability. And I feel like these fuckers are allergic to accountability.
Thankfully, I am fortunate enough to have a very strong support system and a very strong just support system. See, I'm not editing this, so if I mess up my words, I'm just leaving it in. But my DMs have kept me through this and kept me going. They are so incredibly sweet. But what I can't imagine is going through something like this alone. There are children that go through this kind of stuff, this kind of bullying alone. And for that, I cannot even imagine how they even survive that, to be honest. And because of that, I'm going to leave a number down below. If you're alone and you ever need someone to talk to or need something, please call that number and do not hesitate. because it can happen to anyone. So I'm just sending my love out there to anyone that has gone through this, or people that will go through this, or parents of children who, everything.
To use this fucking serious of a subject as a deflection of the shit that's being thrown at you, almost as though to imply you guys can't criticize me because suicide is a real thing that happens to a lot of people who get bullied, so before you criticize me, just, you know, bear that in mind. It's so blatantly manipulative, especially when you're ignoring the actual real accusations that you're being accused of. Fucking disgusting. You should be ashamed of yourself. This is pathetic, embarrassing. Like, this is so... God, Aussie influencers might be worse than LA influencers. I'm sorry to my Australian audience, but this is like a whole nother level of manipulation here. LA TikTok is annoying. And I hate to say it, because Australia is a lovely... I would love to go to Australia. But fuck me, are some of your influencers annoying bastards. And Tim Tams are mid as fuck as well, by the way. But aside from that, your country's magic.
And like a support system of friends who have called me and stuff like that. But like I said, not everybody is. This is not behavior that we can encourage and engage in.
Not one real tear, by the way. I just want to point that out real quick. Not one real tear. I'm not going to accuse her of fake crying, but I am merely pointing out that not one tear has come out of her eyes. She's making the crying noises, but nothing's really happening, if that makes sense. I'm not accusing her of anything, I'm just saying what I see. You get me, dog?
This is not behavior that we can encourage and engage in. If you feel the need to make a hateful, negative video, lock your phone before you do that. I promise you someone's life is not worth the views. People die of this every day. And in saying that, I do not want a single nasty or mean comment in my defense. Even if it is pushing me up but being mean to someone else, you do not comment anything hateful or DM anybody anything hateful, even if it's in my defense. Please, that can kill someone. It's all internet fun until someone dies. I'm not joking. It is dangerous. So do not send any hate, not even on my behalf or anything. I do not stand behind your comment. And if you do that, I do not stand behind you, okay? That's so serious. It's people's lives. Anyways, this is not what my account is about, ever. I mind my business, I stay in my peace, I post my nice videos, and that's all I do, and that's all I will ever do, and that's all my account will ever be about.
Don't forget the porn, by the way. You know, you put your nice videos out, you put your travel videos out, but you conveniently left the porn bit out. Not only of, you know, the content you make, but also the scams that you're posting on your Instagram and the underage people that you were behooving, coercing over to your OnlyFans for your weird, illegal lotteries that go against all the rules of the places that you are on, the social media networks that you are a part of. Which, oh, would you look at that? There's 15 seconds left in this video and she hasn't addressed any of it. What a shock. Instead, she just decides to morally grandstand with this pseudo-moralistic bullshit to make her seem like a good person, deflect criticism, and make everyone who criticizes her to be like some weird, hateful monster.
That's all I do, and that's all I will ever do, and that's all my account will ever be about. But it all got very big, so here I am. But yeah, I love you so much. Be nice, be kind, and if you feel the need to be mean, lock your phone and go outside. I promise you, you'll have a nicer day and feel nicer afterwards. So yeah, I love you all so much. Thank you so much for the nice messages. I've seen them all and they've kept me going, and let's just encourage kindness because the world needs more of it. It needs way more of it. So yeah, I love you, and my account will always be a positive, safe space. It always has been and it always will be. So yeah.
This is a fucking stinky video. This is a stinky response video. This is so stinky. This is about as stinky as your armpits after hugging 1,000 fans. And the thing is, since this whole thing has gone down, pretty much every fucker in Australia has put a video out talking about how much of a dick Anna Paul is. I'm sure some of it is true, I'm sure some of it is not, right? I'm sure some people are lying to hop on a bandwagon that basically just feeds people views, and I'm sure some people are genuinely telling the truth because Anna Paul has definitely done horrible shit behind the scenes and seems like a huge bully in my opinion. I'm not going to go over all of these response videos in full because this video is long enough as it is, but we'll go over some of them minorly. This is one by a girl called Lilith who has 3 million followers.
In 2019, I truly felt that Anna was my true friend. Out of everyone, I was closest to Anna. I swear I literally was friends with her for like almost a year online, right? And imagining become friends with her and become friends with all these people, and then everyone just starts ignoring you. Everyone ignores you, and you're just going absolutely crazy in your own brain because you're like, what did I do wrong? Like, truly, what did I do wrong to these people? and you see them continuing being friends, but you're not in the friend group anymore, and you're just constantly you're in your head every single day thinking, what is truly wrong with me? Why don't these people like me? And then you get this stupid message from the brother. That's truly how I felt, that I felt like I wasn't good enough to be friends with these people. And then you go to find out she completely, it's just insane. She completely lied to everyone and said that I talk shit about everyone, that I did that, and I would never do that. It's just insane. She did that to me, a freaking 19-year-old. I literally was in such a dark place because of her own action.
If you want to hear the rest of that, watch all the videos that she's made on the situation. Her account is in this video. You can go watch it if you want, because there's a lot of videos that she's posted about Anna. I personally am not going to say anything, because once again, there's no evidence of either which way. I don't automatically disbelieve her though, I don't doubt it at all, but the amount of people involved in this situation who are liars, it'd be disingenuous of me to come on camera and say, yep, 100% true, I believe her 100% completely, no doubts on my end, you know what I mean? I just wanted to put this in there because it's important for you to know that a lot of people who have previously interacted with Anna, both privately and publicly, have come out detailing their negative experiences with her as well.
Anna Paul's apology video was one of the most sincere apologies that I have ever heard from an influencer. The way that she spoke from the heart and didn't try to manipulate her audience or pull out any of these stops
yeah, this has to be sarcastic. Okay, it's sarcastic. Alright, you got me. Good video. It's sarcastic. I'm very happy that was sarcastic, because I was about to go off. Big up Stephanie Matto for duping the great Dankyjabo. Oh, the pasta. Of course, the pasta. I thought we were done, but I've just found—
Welcome back to—
Fucking hell. I clicked on a video about pasta. I did not expect to get fucking Hiroshima'd. Anna Paul's viral Turkish pasta.
Thought she was...
She's German. You can cook Turkish food when you're German. I cooked you a shepherd's pie once. I'm fucking Egyptian. I'm allowed to cook you shepherd's pie. Fucking dunce.
Anna Paul's viral Turkish pasta, which has become my new favorite 15-minute meal. We start off by sauteing one diced onion with all our seasonings and some beef. Once the beef is brown, the final ingredient is some tomato paste. Second, we're gonna mix Greek yogurt or sour cream with some grated garlic and lemon juice. All that's left to do is make our paprika butter, which only takes 1 minute, and just layer everything together, and that's it. You're gonna love how quick and easy this is to make. Comment recipe and I'll send you the link to the full recipe. And I'll see you tomorrow for day 89.
I might quit this job after that. Why is this an integral part? Why was this mentioned in her response video? Where she got accused of horrible, horrible shit, defending horrible people, promoting pornography to minors. Why was this mentioned over all of that? It looks alright. It looks okay. Yeah. I would eat it if someone gave it to me. And if I liked it, maybe, you know what, if I liked it, I'd excuse her of all of her misdoings, her wrongdoings. She'd be fine in my books.
It's been 5 days and we have not heard anything from Anna Paul. I'm going to share the psychology of Anna Paul. She is a parentified child, which means she has taken on the role of the parent. Now let me explain this to you. When she came up to her mum and said, I'm going to do OF, it's going to make me lots of money, her mum agreed and said, yeah, you should do it. Now what that does is that wounds a child. That means my body, my needs, my values are not necessary. I am valuable if I provide money. And that's what she does to her mother. Now, as a parentified child, you also have a step of being infantized. And that's where Anna's stuck at. She can't really do much on her own. She's really dependent on that family system within herself.
How could you possibly know this? This is just huge assumptions. What the fuck are you talking about? Maybe the TikTok ban wasn't such a bad idea after all. It would definitely encourage people to, you know, stop seeking validation and popularity on TikTok and maybe go outside and talk to real people and learn some actual fucking social skills. Those were taken away from, you know, us young people during COVID. COVID fucked us up, man. I didn't realize how bad it was until I made commentary videos, but COVID fucked us up.
Regardless, I hope you...
Watching the Anna Paul drama like this because we once paid $30 for a BJ video, but it was just her with a lollipop. I'm ending the video. I think we're done. The video's done. This is where the video ends. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you for subscribing. And be sure to subscribe if you enjoyed said video. I got a lot angrier than usual. I'm not in the greatest of moods right now after all that. I probably have to cut a lot of shit out because I got very angry and unreasonable at points. But either which way, hopefully you enjoyed, and truly, feel free to tell me in the comments if you feel as though my anger and annoyance was unwarranted. Thank you all very much for watching the video up to this point. I know it's a bit of a longer one, and I'll catch you all in the next one, hopefully. Yeah, cheers for watching. Bye.